everybody, Yom Tov. It's me, it's your girl, it's Hedda. Hope you are all having a wonderful day wherever you happen to be in the world. If anybody new has come to join us, welcome to the Haven, and I do hope you have fun here. Well, what have I got lined up for you today? I'll give you some royal gossip to start off with. I want to tell you why I'm really annoyed with Harry and Meghan, and I'll start off with that. The private dinner that Harry was at, where I mentioned about the $775,000 and what have you. Well, apparently someone leaked what Harry said, and he went on and on about Princess Diana and his mental health. That's what the press weren't allowed to know about. But what I find hypocritical about that is the fact that when he was in Africa, he said every time he heard the click of a camera, it made him think of his mum, and it affected him. But he was at this dinner, and there were there were like company photographs taken, event photographs taken. So there would have been the click of the camera there, and he's talking about his mum. So how is it all right to do it when you're getting paid for it, but it's not all right to do it when he's in Africa, when he's there on behalf of the Queen, and he's not getting paid for it? Could somebody explain that to me, please? Because I am damned that I don't know how you can work that one out. The other thing that's really annoyed me, sorry, here we go, is the fact that Harry and Meghan have sacked their UK staff. Now, what happened to this? We are going to come back to the UK for part of the year. They're going to need those staff. I mean, they've even sacked the lady who did so much for Harry that she was asked to present Meghan's bouquet to her the day she got married. And they've let that lady go. They've sacked her. Some of the staff can be sort of like absorbed back into the palace, but the rest of them, they're out in their ear. How is that fair? And that's really pissed me off. That's really annoyed me. I mean, we, the British taxpayer, paid nearly 3 million quid to make Frogmore fit enough for those two to live in. And yet, it doesn't look as if they're going to come back to the UK. You know, somebody will put them up, no doubt, for a week. They might go back to Frogmore and borrow a couple of staff from the Queen for a week. But I can't imagine Meghan want to stay any longer than that, can you? Because she is so happy where she is now. She's been telling friends that it was killing her soul being in the UK, that she doesn't like the way the British people do things. And yet it's funny because when she was here, she was talking about, oh, well, I'm here to help now and I can help you, when it came to all her charity work. So that must have been a lie. Or was she acting? Because let's face it, that's her stock in trade. She's an actress. So how much did she act in front of the British people, and how much of it was real? You know, the truth is we don't know, and I don't think we ever will. And I think Harry has changed since he married her, and I think he saw her as a get out of jail free card to get loose from royal life. I do. And to be honest with you, I think they're as bad as each other. I've gone right off them. I used to think the world of Harry. And when Meghan came along, I thought, yay, I had my reservations because I thought she was a bit pushy. But, you know, I thought, well, if they love each other, go for it. And when they got married, I was thrilled. It was a lovely day. But, no, I honestly think they're as bad as each other. I'm really knocked about that. And I'm knocked about the staff. And I'm knocked about the way that they've treated the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh. And, you know, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I do know William and Catherine are working harder than ever. because, you know, somebody's having to fill in the gaps left by those two. They haven't really given much thought to the consequences really of what we've done. And that really annoys me. So, in order to sort of like calm myself down, I've been having a long, hard think about things today, just life in general, and how I can relate what happens to me to what goes on with you guys and my life purpose. And I wanted to say this. I know I've talked about this before, but I've been searching for my life purpose, and you know, I said I'd found it, it was in the Haven. And over the time since I said that, I've realised just how true it really is. Because apart from being surrounded by my wonderful family, I still felt there was a void, something that should be filled, something that I should be doing. And I wanted to help people, but I just didn't know how, and now I've found that outlet. And the one thing I wanted to say today that I've been saying to myself, everything happens for a reason, no matter what we all go through in life. Everything happens for a reason. And the things that happen to us, it's so we can share and empathise and sympathise and come together so that we can all sort of like have a moment where we say, sorry, the sun's quite bright. It's so we can all get together and say, oh yes, I've been through this, and you know, I can talk to you about that, and you know, but that's what I wanted to say to you. It's not going to be a very long video today, guys, because unfortunately I'm in a fair bit of pain, and I can't. It's like I was talking about the other night. It's difficult trying to find my comfy place, you know. But I want to try and say this to you, and I hope it makes sense. No matter what you are going through, there's a reason behind it. Now, I know there's certain like medical conditions that people have, and you're going through that, and the reason can be, well, I'm going through this because it's cancer, or I'm going through this because, you know, I've got paralysis, or some, you know, I'm just trying to think of different reasons as to why we go through what we go through. But all our life experiences we can use for the better, and we can share our life experiences so we can strengthen each other, you know. And I really do believe that. Even coming down to the likes of depression, being able for me to say to, I mean, I know not just Haveners will be watching, I know that other people who aren't subscribed, just strangers watching me for some strange reason, would be listening to me and hearing me say, yes, I have depression, and there are times it's so bad I can hardly lift my head. It takes a lot for me to say that in front of a load of strangers, but I'm not ashamed of it. It's part of me, it's who I am. I'm certainly not ashamed of it. I can't help it. Serotonin levels in my brain just shouldn't be where they're supposed to be. And I've got to take antidepressants to help me along, and I do know that if I didn't take them, then I'd be in a hell of a worse state than I am now. So, go them. But even though I've been more or less disabled now, coming up for 10 years, there's still days where I think, why am I in this wheelchair? It's not fair that I'm in this wheelchair. There's so much I could be doing. When I was walking around and I sit having regrets, like, oh, I wish I'd done more before I couldn't get in this chair, because now I can't drive anywhere on my own and get out the car and just nip in and nip out and the way I used to. I've got to rely on people. But what was the reason for that? It was to get me to stop being such a control freak, to get me to learn to accept help. Because before that, I was very, very bad at accepting help from anybody. So in that regard, I had to learn a very hard lesson. And humility was one. Learning to be humble, learning to accept what I couldn't change. And I mean, I was always grateful for whatever was done for me, don't get me wrong. But I resented things being done for me because I wanted to do them for myself. And I had to learn to be doubly grateful for whatever was done for me, because I couldn't do it myself anymore. So what I would say to you is this: if you find yourself in a position where there's certain things that you just can't do anymore, that's totally beyond your control, and people offer their help, accept it graciously and be grateful. And whatever you can do to help somebody else, do it. If you know somebody else in a wheelchair, then you sit with them and you talk to them about it, and you share their experience, and you allow them to talk while you listen. If you know someone with depression, same thing. One of the best ways to ever help anybody is to listen to them. I really do think that listening, when you want to help someone, I think is really, really important. And I know I've spoken about the art of listening before, but it's really struck me, particularly this last week, when people have actually asked for someone to let them talk, and they just want someone to listen to them. And I just wanted to sort of reiterate that message, that one of the best things you can do if you want to help someone is, one of the first things is listen to them. Listen to what they're asking for. Listen to what they're telling you. Listen to what they're saying to you that they need. And if you can help them, do it. If you can do anything physical to help them, that makes their lives easier, please go ahead and do it, because you'll feel great yourself. And if you can spare the time to listen to them, even better. You know, if you can spend half an hour over a cup of coffee, or even just typing to somebody, or FaceTiming when someone's lonely. You might not be able to physically go around and see someone, but if you could FaceTime somebody, it's almost like talking over the kitchen table, isn't it? So if you can reach out and help someone, I think that would be an amazing thing to do. And on that happy note, guys, if you don't mind, I'm going to leave it here today, because I do need to take some pain meds. I'm trying hard to distract myself while I'm talking to you. And this thing's at about an 8.5 out of 10. So it's not great. But I wanted to talk to you today. I mean, it's Monday. I want to try and get back into the 3 videos a week. And I wanted to give you a quick update on Lorraine. There's no change. It's not better. It's not worse at the moment. There's more tests to be done this week. So as soon as I hear anything, I will let you know. Lovely girl. Such a shame. But I'm keeping everything positive for her. Still praying for her. And as I pray for all of you who ask for my prayers, and I do pray for you, because prayer is just an intention. If you're saying something with the right intention, that's a prayer. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to have, you can have a religion or none. Even just saying out loud to the universe, please would you send some good vibes this person's way, or I'm sending good thoughts to this person. You don't have to say, dear God, please will you listen to me while I pray for my friend. You don't have to do that. You don't have to have a religion. Just speak with the intention of your heart. If it comes from the heart, it's as good as a prayer, if not better. So if you can do that for anybody, it's a mitzvah. And wouldn't the world be nice if it was filled with people doing mitzvahs? Performing mitzvahs every day. You know, can only be a good thing. Hope you like the eyes today, by the way. I've tried to do a sunset, but I don't know whether I've managed it or not. I've done sort of like a mustardy yellow and an even deeper mustardy yellow and a sort of a golden brown and a red. So I don't know whether it's worked or not. I've tried. But, you know, they say God loves a trier, and I'm particularly trying. Anyway, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will see you on Wednesday. If you've got any suggestions for your Wednesday folktales, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and choose something. And I will see the Paranormal Crew on Friday for episode 7 of I Made a Deal with an Angel. Oh, and I may as well tell you now, it's a bit raunchy, this one. I've read it. Oh, steamy. Well, I'm going to have to tone that down a little bit. So, anyway, enough said about that. Take care, guys. I love you all. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you are having a wonderful Monday. Bye-bye for now, guys. Bye-bye.